Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be breaking down the stock market. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to go above and beyond and get daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of long term and short term setups, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon, and this is a new year, a new start. So definitely head over to Patreon and check out that link, guys. And now let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. We got some new development here in the market, and you can see the stock futures are steady after U.S. attacks on Venezuela. And not that it seems like the stock market is bothered about this, little attack that we had and capture of Nicolas Maduro. It just did not really affect the market. But if you look at right here, especially look at gold and silver. My God, it's up 5%. Copper, platinum. I mean, look at all these. The futures is up massively. So people are running for a gain, safety, and yes, the stock market is also up. You can see Dow slightly down on futures market, but again, we went there for what? Well, we all know the answer, which is the oil, guys. And now, what market did on Friday was pretty much, kind of a weird move in the market. You will see that energy led the way, and we'll talk about energy here in this video. But Dow was up 0.66%, Nasdaq flat, S&P pretty much flat, and Russell going up just over 1%. 11 sectors you can see on top who led the way because they knew it: energy, industrials, basic materials, utilities, technology. Pretty much everything is actually green except communication services and consumer cyclical. Week to date, also energy led the way on top and utilities. Stock market map, you can see, I mean, this is really bizarre. You can see Microsoft, PLTR, CRM, a lot of the big names are down. But look at here, AMU is up over 10%. AMD is up over 4%. I mean, that is a big move. Google up, Meta down, Netflix down 3%, Tesla down 2.59%, Amazon down nearly 2%. And the biggest move was on Apple because that thing already got up to 277 and then gave back everything. That was almost a $9 to $10 move to the downside from the top. But look at the industrials right here. Names like LMT, Caterpillar, Boeing, these are going up massively on Friday. Now, fear and greed index, you can see we're actually on neutral 45, so nothing really big. We can look at what's coming this week, and let's just have a look. This week we got ISM tomorrow, but then I think Wednesday we got Joel's job opening. Then we got ISM services, ADP employment, and this is the one that I'm actually looking at, and I think that will move the market definitely right here. Non-farm payroll and unemployment rate, which is coming out this week on Friday. Now, let's talk about the market and see where is S&P going into tomorrow's session. So on SPY ETF, it was slightly up, but look at what happened. We gapped up big time on Friday. Nasdaq was up 1%, and then what happened, guys? We gave back everything. Now, if you look at my screen, and the well target 700 call wall was removed, and now we have 690 to the upside and 680 to the downside. So $10, range. That could change come tomorrow. I'll check that and let you guys know tomorrow night. But as of right now, you can see Friday we came breaking down this trend line right here, and then we went back in just holding that 682, 683, that key level. So going into tomorrow's session, looks like it's pretty flat right now. Depending on where we open, if we open inside this, chop zone or inside this wedge, watch out. There will be resistance at 684. I'm just rounding things up because of this 20-day moving average. 686. If we can clear that, then it's heading up to that 689 to 690 to close the gap on top. Now, weekly expected move also somewhat neutral, so we'll see how that goes to the downside. But if that 680 level gives up, and then the 50-day also sitting right below that, almost at 679. So 680 to 679 is going to be a key zone to watch. Underneath that, that opens the door for a move down to 674, and you can possibly go lower because 674 breaks. You can see rejection. We have rejection, rejection, and even this rejection. Then we came back in. We held the support right here. So that's going to be key zone, and the lower Bollinger Band sitting right there. So watch out, and I think that's the lower end of the weekly expected move down here on SPY ETF 674 this week. On Triple Q, it's actually flat on Friday, and now it's up $2 up to 615, and we held the key support that was 613 right here, guys. You can see we went slightly under, closing the other gap on the hourly time frame. 610 came back up and holding 613. So how this new year is gonna be, because we just get started onto the new year, and there's already a new war that broke out. Not that we are getting attacked or anything, and they don't even have that sort of power now. What happened, especially over the weekend. We going into Venezuela, capturing that dude and bringing him back to New York, and now he will get punished. But we all know it's all about oil. Now you would think that, oh, just because we have the biggest oil reserve country under our belt, and now we would be controlling, like Trump said, which I don't think that's the case. That was thrown out by the vice president who's actually serving as a president right now from Venezuela, Rodriguez. She already said that she's demanding, to free that Nicolas Maduro, and they're not on the same page, right? So there might be another attack into Venezuela to take her out, maybe take out the army. Now, these things cost money. And guess who pays? Any war, who pays? Us. We taxpayers. And I pay a lot of taxes, so I know exactly this is going to hurt, especially my pocket as we're going into new war. Now, also, people will say, well, we're going to get cheaper oil. I agree with that. We're going to get cheaper oil. Now, is that going to happen immediately? Absolutely not. They got junk oil there. So our company has to go there. They have to spend millions of dollars or even billions of dollars, not millions. They have to, get that oil out. They have to refine it. They have to send it out. They have to sell it. It takes years. It's not like, you just snap your fingers and then boom, you got fresh, cheap oil from Venezuela, and energy is gonna come down. Everything will be cheap. You can just run things, and the gas prices will go down to like 50 cents. That's not the case. If you're thinking about that's going to happen immediately, no, it might take years. Plus, we just got into that country. We're not even like, controlling the country, even though Trump is saying that we're running the country. I don't think that's true. The regime is still there. We had not made any, moves on changing the regime. We just got one dude and his wife, and that's about it. There is, military out there in Venezuela, and I don't know how many. I mean, I know they cannot stand against the power of U.S. Army, but it's still there. And then cartels, they're with Maduro. They will support them. Not to mention China. You got Russia, and all the other countries. They want oil from Venezuela, or they want to go in and start doing the same thing that we're doing. And now they got this shake up here that Trump and us, US, going in, and we're doing this. So their door is kind of like closed. Not to mention these vessels that come in and go out. It's not happening. So that will create a panic in the especially oil market. It's not gonna be really flowing fine, just like it was happening with Yemen shutting down that little canal. And what happened? Crude oil jumped up, right? Right now, crude oil future is pretty much flat to slightly down. It was up, I think, over the weekend, like 2% almost. So I don't know what happened there, but I think if there is a dip on oil, things will come back up. So there is a lot of things. We will see how that plays out next few days, and not to mention, a lot of these countries are condemning U.S. going into this capture of Maduro and doing all that. It's just a mess, right? One after another. Like, why can't we just leave peacefully, right? Everybody mind their own business. No, we have to go and just jump into something. New Year started, and this was supposed to be a year where Trump said 2026 year, peace and all that. Well, the peace was gone right from the second day. So here on Triple Qs, it's up a little bit here, but I'm not gonna lean into it too much. You can see only up like $1.85. It's giving back a little bit here. 613 and 610 key zone. Under that 606.85. We can go all the way down to 604. Now I want to look at something on monthly scale as well, because this was the pullback we had last year. And if we pull back this year, let's say we get some sort of a deeper pullback this year, and the market were to come down, where can it come down to? Well, 541 definitely an interesting spot, because that previous all-time high. And now if we actually pull back into that area, that would be just a monthly pullback, a monthly higher low, and it'll be fantastic opportunity for us to go long in the market. Now, talking about recession and all that, now I think because of all that, it's just gonna throw some water on that right now, because nobody's gonna talk about it immediately because of what's going on recently. And that will take some time before we go into these types of events, like whether we're going to have a recession in 2026, more job losses, more people losing jobs and whatnot. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, Qs, these are the levels to the downside. If we can recapture and hold above 613, we need to get over 617, and then we could have a move up to 623 to close the gap on top. And this was one of the trade idea that I posted on Friday into my channel, where I post my trade ideas from my Patreon group. And we almost win. Like, I was ready to short right here at 623. And look at that high for the day, 622.85. So it was almost there. We still have the gap open, so I think at some point it will come back up. But as of right now, market just flat, and we don't have much to talk about here, especially when we get this data this week that I was showing you guys earlier in my beginning of the video. These are going to be the key points where market will make a decision, and only even on the weekly time frame, you can see the market just hanging in there, and it's not bearish. I would not say market is extremely bearish, but it's slightly where market is feeling the effect of the economy. And now that that new war, or we're not even in that country anymore. They came out with Maduro, but it's still enemies are watching. Just because U.S. is a superpower does not mean that we do not have enemies. They're watching this move, and who knows? If somebody to come out and do something like we did, it can who knows? There is tons of narrative out there, and it can definitely happen, guys. So we got to be careful with the market and everything that is happening around us next couple days. On DIA, it's up 0.64% on Friday, and that charge was led by Caterpillar and Boeing and some of the other big names. And you can see we had a hammer type candle, some volume on it. And only negative thing here, I would say this was the all-time high. This is a lower high into a lower low. We took out this low down here. We went slightly lower, but then came back up with significant volume. So next week, and going into tomorrow's session, 480, that's going to be a key zone. Underneath that, 476, 472 gap, which is still open here on Dow. To the upside, 484.44 breaks. We could be going back up to 487 to 489.66 to retest the previous all-time highs, and possibly will go on and make new all-time highs. But I don't think that's the case. You're going to see this week, unless you get some really bullish data coming out. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing. It's totally free. And since I have you guys here on X, and since I have this in front of me right here, as soon as I opened up this page, you can see SPY, what happened back in Q1 2025. This is where we peaked, and then what happened? We had a decent sell-off, and that was the tariff turmoil, where we went down nearly 30%. What's happening here? Well, we peaked, and so far market just selling off. Is that going to happen again? But you know, probably not. But we can definitely see a little bit more selling in this market because how VIX is already down again today. Now, with that being said, guys, we had some really good time in the market, and you can see these trades that I posted today, and just few. I'm not even sharing all the trades. Baba calls. Look at this. 12.29. He was trading at 146 ish, I think. Yep, right about there. You can go and match the time. 155 calls. And these went to the moon today. Nvidia, this was the second time that I took these trades, 200 calls, and these were up today. We took profit on these as well. And you can see DIA, we took puts. This was the second time I got in again at 485, 480 puts. This was deep in the money today that I sold. Then Nvidia, you can see still holding half a position. Baba calls went to the moon, and we took profit on this one as well. And this is the result of that. Quite a few people that actually are serious within my Patreon group, they made money. It was really fantastic to see people making money. And you can see this is my small account that early morning, it was only 9:36 a.m. and boom, it's up, and it's already up, and it started for the year already in a positive note in a big way. So if you're really serious about trading and you want to do this full time, definitely new year, first of the month, this is the right time. Check out my link down in the description for Patreon, guys. IWM, it's up 1%, so it was going up for what? Pretty much entire week, and then finally we saw a little bit of a rally here on IWM after hitting lower Bollinger Band. You can see 245. This is a key support zone, and now it bounced back over 248. So 248 holds, we could see a move back up to 251 to 252. Over that, there will be more upside. If this thing comes back and takes out 245, then IWM heading lower down to 240, and possibly from there it can go much, much lower. Once we get there, we can talk about it. But lower Bollinger Band, just so you know, is sitting at 245.69. So I don't see too much of a downside unless we have some really, catastrophic news that comes out that's going to trigger that sell-off here on IWM. On VIX, it was again a VIX crash Friday down 3%. So, yes, we had that initial breakout, but look at what's happening. We cannot get over 15. We got over 15. We got pushed back again under 15 bucks. So, even though everything that is happening around, all over the place and what just took place recently, well, VIX is very low. So, it seems like nobody cares about any types of fear in the market, and that's when things can get really ugly because everybody is expecting more upside. VIX, dying, no fear in the market. Fear when this thing rises back up. That's when you buy. But when this thing is this low, I mean, where to buy and where to sell? How much upside we have? Yes, this can go lower, but if this thing goes even lower, look at where we're trading, guys. I mean, these levels here, we have not seen in many months, and now we're touching these levels. We got down to almost 13 bucks and then came back up, and now just hovering around that 15 bucks. If we clear that holds right here, easily can go up to 18.20. And like I said, there were some VIX calls coming in, 30 bucks strike. And if that's true and that's going to play out, which I don't really put too much weight into those flows, but it can happen because how low this is. So if that happens, somewhere down the line, we will see a deeper correction in the market. Now, what dollar is doing, you can see also sitting on that monthly trend line right here and just relaxing. It was up slightly on Friday's session, so it's kind of strange. VIX went down, dollar up, yields are going up. The market was slightly up as well, except Nasdaq going down. So somebody's here lying, guys, and we'll find out. I think this week we have a full trading week with big boys back from vacation. Everyone is back from vacation, and we will see a really good move here, especially in the stock market. Talking about silver and gold a little bit here. Not gonna go too much into details. You can see up massively, 4.26% right now. There is a gap above, and looks like we're going up again, gapping up to close the gap on top. So things are just looking really frothy everywhere. You see, I mean, some cases things are really at extreme. Some cases, some things are really dying in the market where it's really concerning, what's happening around the world. And I think we should take day by day, and we should not go aggressive in this market at this point. Let me know your thoughts on everything that is actually happening in the market, and also what took place over the weekend in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section, guys, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated.